another episode of the Chit Chat with Ariyike. I am Ariyike Jayoba, and of course, it is my pleasure to come to your hearings again. And if this is your first time of listening, we say welcome aboard. Thanks so much for clicking to listen. So please do not forget to subscribe. It's not going to cost you anything. So please subscribe. Tell a friend to tell another friend who will tell another friend about the podcast. We really do not take all that you do for granted. And to all our previous listeners, thank you so much. Thanks for the views. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the comments. We really do appreciate all that you do. Thank you so very much. So, getting into what we have for this episode, it's actually going to be a short talk, and it's inspired by the various things that have happened online, the ones that are presently happening, and the ones that are obviously cooking up to happen. And it is titled Pre and Post Breakup. We are going to be talking about pre-breakup and post-breakup and things that are attached to it. I'm saying we because we are going to be doing this together. That is why it is a chit chat. I'll just be the one to do the talking while you do the texting by leaving your opinion in the comment section. So let's begin. Let's start by talking about the pre-breakup. Of course, we know that it is in the pre-breakup where couple get to meet. It's in a pre-breakup, they get to meet and then begin a relationship. But before I move on, let me say that this episode is concentrated on those couples who got together because they felt something for themselves. Of course, we know that people get together for different reasons, for various reasons. But this episode is concentrating on those couples who got together because they felt something for themselves. We already have people, a lot of people who had said and are still saying a lot of things about relationship and the things that are attached to it. So it's no longer news to us that there is no manual or handbook when it comes to relationship, because what worked or what is working for A might not work for B. But the thing is, there are a lot of things about relationship we are consciously aware of, but then we are subconsciously ignorant about. These are things that we hear, these are things that we've heard, and things that we still hear about, things we are aware of, but then again we are not aware of them. Because if we are fully aware of these things, which means, when I say fully now, if you are consciously and also subconsciously aware of these things, then we would not deal with some situations the way we do. We won't handle some situations the way we do. For instances, let me start by saying we have number one, we already know that in a relationship there are going to be good days and bad days. It's been said countless times. It's still being said. People are still saying it, that we are going to have the good days and the bad days. So when these bad days happen, which of course we will feel sad, it is very normal. We tend to dwell in it a lot and then end up acting like we were never expecting the days to come. And then that is when you hear something like, I never thought you could do this to me, or I never thought she could do this to me, or I never thought we would ever get to this point. And the question here is, when we hear bad days, what days do we really assume? What days come to our mind? Because of course, these are not going to be days that I would like. These are not going to be days that I would feel comfortable in. These are not going to be days that would put smile on our faces. And because we've heard about it, that there are going to be good days and there are also going to be bad days, then shouldn't we be prepared? But when these days happen, we tend to act like somewhere in our head, we already assume that we would not get the bad days. And the thing is, no matter how long the good days in a relationship are, so long that you are already relaxed and you already feel like the bad days will never come. The thing is, the bad days will surely come, because we are humans, and then we sometimes make bad decisions, make mistakes. But the thing is that abuse is not included. Of course, no one should stay in a relationship where he or she is being abused. But still, we are going to offend one another. Things might not work out the way we think. Bad days are going to come. So if we fully, consciously and subconsciously have accepted that these days will come, then we will deal with the situation in a different way. And another one is it's been said that communication is the key in every relationship. It's been said countless times. But then we still end up saying something like, she should know now. Am I still supposed to tell her? Or shouldn't he figure it out by himself? Despite how much it has been said that communication is the key, despite how much it has been said, some people still do not communicate. What they do is that they assume. An assumption can kill a relationship. Like, you heard something, it's okay to ask. You're not clear about something, it's okay to ask. You saw something, it's okay to ask. That is what communication is for. That is why it is important for us to communicate and not just assume or think that the partner or her partner should be able to. They are not witch now. The same way you are not a witch. This is the same way they are not a witch or a wizard. So that's another thing we've not fully accepted. Another thing is that we've heard that in a relationship that nothing is guaranteed. The thing is that it's not just in a relationship that things are not guaranteed, but we are focusing on relationship right now. Nothing is guaranteed. Like, you can have your life planned out with your partner. Like, you already agreed that you will start making your children immediately after marriage, or after a year, or after 2 years. Like, you've both planned that you would finish your house before your 3rd anniversary, get new jobs and stuffs. And because nothing is guaranteed, all these plans and dreams might not work out the way you've planned, because nothing is guaranteed. But then when we get married and then things don't go as we have planned, then we begin to lose the relationship to grief or to sadness or maybe to regret. And I'm not saying that you won't feel bad, of course. I'm not saying that you won't feel hurt. I'm not saying that you won't feel sad. I'm not saying that you won't feel like down. It is normal. We are human. It is normal to feel that way. But then, like, tragedy can break down the strongest of things. Tragedy can break down the strongest of things, not to talk of something that is no longer strong, something that is weak. Something that is no longer strong, something that is weak. When we already know that something like that might happen, it won't end up crushing the relationship. Like, you just keep strong together and then work things together. Though it is not easy. But then who told us that marriage is easy? It is not. Even the relationship is not easy. It's been said, like, no one said the relationship is easy. But then that is another thing that we have not fully accepted. We don't believe, like, most of us do not believe that something can happen to us. We think that if we do it better, we might not have to deal with some things. Like, who told you that those ones who broke up didn't do it better than how you're planning to do it? It's just that nothing is guaranteed. So we don't fully accept things that we hear. Like I said earlier, this podcast is actually concentrating on those who got together because they felt something for themselves. Because truly and sincerely, not all relationship can survive some things, because it takes stronger bond for some things to be survived. It takes stronger bond rather. That is why I said at the beginning that this podcast is concentrating on those who got together because they felt something for themselves. So there is this vow that I love so much, and it goes like, I promise to love you more when you are hurting than when you are happy. I promise to love you more when we are poor than when we are swimming in riches. I promise you that when things go wrong, we would do everything we can to make our relationship work again, because I want to be with you forever. So, and as sweet and romantic as this vow is, as sincere as the person who is saying it to a partner might be, it is still not guaranteed. Like, it is just a hope, something he or she hopes to do, which he might or might not be able to do. That is just it. So all these that I have said are involved with the pre-breakup. So let's talk about the post-breakup, which is when the relationship couldn't survive and they had to go separate ways. The first thing I'm going to say is, couples go different ways for different reasons, and not just the common ones we hear or we see. Couples go different ways for deeper reasons. But the sad thing is that when some people walk out of a relationship, they tend to when the relationship is done, they tend to throw away everything, including the love that once existed between them. The fact that some unforeseen circumstances or uncontrollable circumstances happens and then you have to go different ways doesn't mean that the love which was once shared should not be appreciated. Like, it's not easy. Marriage is not easy at all. Even a marriage counselor can mess things up and have to leave a marriage. That is how not easy marriage is. But then if it's done, the thing is that we need to learn to appreciate the love that led to the heartbreak and the breakup. Because if there was no love to begin with, then there won't be heartbreak. But then most people come out maybe to their friends, or mostly they actually come out online to say bad stuff and bad stuff about their partner. Then they begin to make it look like love is trash. And then they begin to pass wrong information to people, especially the younger ones, about love. And painfully, at the end of it all, at the end of the dragging, coming out to say a whole lot of things about the partner, wrong things about the partner, nothing is gained. Like, nothing is gained by both parties. Nothing productive is gained by both parties. Like, it's okay to mourn the loss of a relationship. That is very fine. But then since you've done all that you could, everything within your part to make it work, and it didn't work, that doesn't mean you should turn yourselves to enemies. That doesn't mean that you should not appreciate those days we were together, having fun, feeling loved. Those days are actually proof. They actually prove that you were once in love with this person. It's just that it could not work anymore. So appreciating the love that used to exist between yourself and the partner is good for you too. Like, it's good for you mentally, it's good for you emotionally, because you're not dragging what is not supposed to be dragged. You're not dragging what is not supposed to be dragged, and you don't mislead people with your words of anger, because we still have people out there, people who live their life based on what they see or read online. Yes, we still, especially the younger ones, we still have people who live their life based on what they see out there. So there's nothing, but you've done everything you could. It's just that it's not meant to be. And it's okay to appreciate the love that led to the heartbreak, because if there was no love in the first place, then you would not feel heartbroken. You would not feel pained. So it's okay to appreciate it, of course, at your own hand. Then channel your energy into moving forward and going into the next phase of life. But then we nowadays handle breakup in a very harsh way, and most especially we end up misleading other people out there. Okay, I said it's going to be a short talk, but it's not looking like a short talk anymore. So I would like to hear your own opinion on this. That is why it's a chit chat, like I said earlier. So please leave your opinion in the comments section. It is time to wrap up and say goodbye. Thanks for staying till the end. Till I come to your earrings again, do not forget to abandon your problems once in a while and live life, because everyone has issues. So till I come to your earrings again, be good. Bye. I love you all. Mwah.